Hi, welcome to another Dr. Brew episode. We are going to be making a mead today. Good thing about a mead is that there's hundreds of recipes and you can make whatever alterations you want. But today I'm trying to make as close to a Viking mead as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some Irish moss, and we're going to do about maybe 5 teaspoons of Irish moss, along with let's call it gelatin finnings. We're going to do a few teaspoons of that. We're going to do about 1 or half a teaspoon per gallon. That's up to you. We also got we're going to do a 1 teaspoon of a citric and malic acid mix. So it's going to be half a teaspoon of each. We're going to have about 5 to 6 ounces of a fresh ginger root. And I'm going to go ahead, and even though the recipe doesn't call for it, we're going to do about 5 teaspoons of a yeast nutrient. That's going to help keep you from getting like a lot of excess gas, and it's going to help the yeast activate and do its job. So with all that said, we got those ingredients set. We're also going to use about, the recipe calls for 10 to 12 pounds of honey. Normally what I do is I'll do about half the honey and half with brown sugar, because honey is like very, very expensive. With me shopping at Smith's, a 5-pound thing of honey is about 18 bucks for every 5 pound. So, and I got 15 pounds, so you figure that's the bulk of your cost right there is the honey. So if you want to cut a little bit with brown sugar, you're going to lose a little bit of sweetness, but you'll still get the sugars that the yeast is going to feed on. So we're going to put some of these ingredients up to the side. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ourselves 2 gallons of water to boil. We're going to boil the water to get the gelatin and the Irish moss along with the honey, get that all dissolved and mixed together. And then while we're doing that, we're going to cut up some of our fruits. Now I'll show you some of the fruits I chose today. And with that said, you can choose whatever fruits you want to go with, but so far these ones have been my favorite. So we got my stock pot, but got 1 gallon of filtered water here so far. And you know, that actually looks like enough. So we're just gonna go with 1 gallon of water right now. Alright, so while that water is getting ready to warm up and boil, we're going to go ahead and cut some of our ingredients. So the recipe calls for about 7 ounces of fresh ginger. So I sent my wife to get the ginger root, and it is actually 6 ounces of fresh ginger that she bought, which is fine. 6 or 7, 10, 4 ounces, it doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and we're going to slice up our ginger root. We're going to boil that with our honey and all that. And I'm slicing it like this just to get the most out of all of our ginger. And also, when you're cutting, if any of you have ever done any type of chef school or anything like that, you'll learn you want to curl your fingers, so when you're cutting, the knife rests against your fingers and you don't run the risk of cutting your fingertips. And you also want to hold your thumb back. our water is still warming up. So the ingredients I have chosen for today's recipe is I'm going to do 2 oranges. I've chosen 3 mangoes. My wife loves mangoes and she thinks it's a sin that I'm going to stick this into a thing of mead. But she'll probably enjoy it later on when she drinks it. So it's a tit for tat type thing. So we got our 3 mangoes right here. And I haven't decided, I bought 4 peaches. I might only do 3. It's up to you. So my wife likes peaches too, so maybe I'll just do 3 and leave the 4th one off to the side for her to eat. That's probably exactly what I'm going to do. This one's a little beat up. So, yeah, that one's for her. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, if there's any tags on anything, go ahead and peel your tags off. I should have been a little bit more prepared. Alright, so what you want to do is just go ahead and cut your fruits the way you normally would cut a fruit. We're just going to cut the peaches and pit them. I usually just cut them in quarters. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these fruits. We're going to put them into a brew bag. So when we get ready to ferment everything will go into a bag. Now mangoes are a little tougher of a fruit to cut and pit. So if you have a hard time, don't worry. Also, when you buy your mangoes, make sure, it's kind of like when you're shopping for an avocado, you don't want it to be like super firm, and you don't want it to be like really, really, really soft either. So apparently this one was just a little bit firmer than normal, which is okay. We can work around that. Actually, while I'm getting the water boiling, I'm cutting the fruits, we'll come back and I'll show you how we're going to put everything together. So, hold on and we'll be back with the next video. Thank you.